Producer Price Index. The GDP estimate released today is based on more complete source data than it was in the second quarterly estate issue last month. In the second estate, the increase in real GDP was 3.2%. UCLA Anderson's forecast second quarterly report in 2016 for the United States calls for a continued slow but steady GDP growth in the 2% range. As forecast in the spring report, national economic growth will be driven by increase in consumer spending and housing, along with an end to the inventory correction currently underway. Both of these models are examples of the GDP scale over the last 4 years and how we have increased GDP leading to 2016. An acceleration in real GDP in the third quarterly primarily reflected an upturn in private inventory investment and acceleration in exports, a small decrease in state and local government spending, an upturn in federal government spending, and a small decrease in residential investment that were partly offset by a small increase in PCE and an acceleration in imports. The GDP appears to increase. The increase is good for the economy. This report often moved both equity and fixed income markets both the day of the release and on an ongoing basis. It may even set a new course in the markets for upcoming months. The increase is bad for the economy. Despite its apparent swell in popularity, thanks to the new Vive virtual reality headset, ARS Technica notes that company is still the same and mismanaged and bleeding behemoth we've known years prior. Couple that with T-Mobile dropping the HTC 10 and precarious position of the Vive in such a new marketplace. The stakes are perhaps too high for the technology company. Why is it hot? Corporations spend upward of 10% of their budgets on telecom costs. With Viptela's software, define when you can see upwards of 50% savings by replacing operationally complex MPLS networks. It's not a matter of if people will deploy SD-WANs, it's when and how fast it is. 2017 will be the year where we see acceleration. They said they believe that unemployment will be in the lowest it has been during an election since George W. Bush and Al Gore faced in the 2000s, when it stood at 3.2%. The median forecast for the unemployment rate when voters go to the polls in November 2016 was 4.8%, which would be down from 5.3% last month. They saw only a 15% chance of a recession starting by next election day. Interest rates, inflation, and gasoline prices should all be a bit higher than they are now, they said, while staying quite low by historical standards. Events that can affect the U.S. economy would be natural disasters such as earthquakes or tsunamis, Trump's presidency, or a Fed printing too much money, making the U.S. dollar pretty much worthless.